So welcome to part 6 of our Lean Design Video Training Course. This is actually the second half of day 3. Each of these days were about 2 hours of training. We're trying to break these videos down to about 1 hour each. So this is really the second half of day 3. Don't let it throw you. In this video, we're going to be picking up the conversation on auto-exit calculations, which are pretty interesting, along with some other tips that Nick has for us.
So this is something that I want to show you because I think it's cool. So let's delete those two fields here, and let's show you now what the auto entry calculation can do. So here you can see here I have some variable here, right? I have some variable, and I want to type here. So hello world, and I say, okay, good morning, America. Okay, and I click here. So here I have the current content of this field is good morning, America, and I can, if I say hello world, it changes. It says the current content is the hello world. You can update the current content of the field. You get it on the variable automatically, and that is the auto entry calculation that is doing this. Pretty much what it's doing. What you need to understand is that you can create a variable. You can generate a variable from a let statement. Okay, so let's try it. So let's try it. Let's say I have a let statement. Let. Okay, so like we say, and you say $$ today. Okay, equal, for example, get current date. We don't care what we put here, and this. So the calculation is triggered. The calculation did something. The calculation did something. And then you can see here, I have today says 6/12/2019. So I created the variable. I generate the variable from a let statement. So I'm going to show you again. You create your let statement instead of typing the name today, which this will be used only in the current calculation, right? You put $$ and then you create a global variable. If your calculation is used within a script and you want this variable to be available only during the time of the script, you create a local variable with $1. So $1, this will be usable within the current script. $$ will be available during the current session, until it gets changed or you quit the application. Otherwise, you will stay there available. So this is very powerful. So now I can play with this. My name is Nick. Okay, I change it. So before it was hello world, now is my name is Nick. Then it say, okay, how are you today? So before it was my name is Nick, and now is how are you today? So before you type and after you type. So that's cool. Because if you want to do your own undo, for example, let's say you want to do your own undo, or let's say you want to do something cool that I'm going to show you, but you don't want a crazy script and stuff like that. So what you do, you use your auto entry calculation technique. So, but I can show you now that it's working. I can show you the other side of this. We have an auto entry calculation, then we can specify the calculation. And then we have another calculation that we can specify at the validation. So it's pretty much an auto exit calculation. Let's say it's we have the auto entry calculation and we have the auto exit calculation. And this calculation here, you have a calc, and you can say many things there, right? You can say many things. You can create when you validate, that means when you exit, when you get out of the field, before you validated the new data, that means you still have the previous data. You type something, but the validation will keep what you already have there, and then you can do whatever you want. Like the current, give me the current content. Give me the list of contact name. Give me the count of contacts. Give me a calculation, for example, the validation. If the word count is superior than 5, tell me word counts exceeded 5, or you tell me no error. You can do that when you exit into the Autoexit calculation. That means on the validation calculation, you can do that. And on the Autoentry calculation, you said what was before. When you type new data, take what was before. That means the before is what the previous validation gave you. Keep the before and change it now, right? So don't worry, guys. I'm going to give you this file, and you will be able to play with it. Okay. So let me show you how powerful it is. I don't have any script. I swear God, I don't have any script. Look, script, and I tap here. Nothing happened. There's no script. I have no script, right? No script. And look what happened here. Look at this. I need this. Look at this. Counts, current, before, related contacts. So all those variables are triggered with Autoentry and Autoexit calculation. I call the validation calculation Autoexit. Then you can understand when it triggered. So let's start it. Here, right? I'm typing here, and I said hello. So far so good. So it said hello, and before was empty. Okay. And now I said, how are you? Bam. It was hello before. Now is how are you? And I have no error. So now I'm saying, I'm doing fine. Thank you. Bam. So far so good. And yourself. And then I validate. Bam. Word count exceeded 5. Right? So you got this. No trigger, no script, nothing, just a calc in a field itself. So let's say now, and you saw how it works, right? So let's say now you want to replicate this to all your fields. It's very simple. Just you replicate the calculation, copy paste. This will work all the time. Copy paste and copy paste. Pretty much, you don't even have to. Yeah, maybe you have to repurpose some stuff here, but pretty much what happened here.
Yeah, we got a question?
Yeah. So E. Albert asked, do you have a list of do's and don'ts for certain circumstances? Do you have a list?
Okay, I know when is don't is when related field are involved. This is don't.
Well, unstored calculations do all those.
Or unstored calculation. No, unstored calculation works, but we don't want unstored calculation. That's replacing the unstored calculation.
Right.
So, but I'm showing the power, the extra power that you can get out of the Autoentry calculation. Right. There's something else I want to show you guys, because I'm not done with this. It's the Autoentry calculation. We have also the get script parameter. Anywhere you can enter a calculation, you can use this technique with the let statement, right? With the let statement, and you can trigger your own variable, and then you have data that you can reuse over time, or you can send to another script and stuff like that. So let's say, I just typed this, right? I just typed this. So let's open the data viewer right quick here. So I open the data viewer. So I open the get script parameter here, and now I have a new script parameter variable that popped with whatever I put in this field. So if I say hello world, and I said get script parameter again, bam, right? It tells you what was in this field. And I don't have any scripts that do that. I just have one script here, very simple script that says show dialog. But in the script parameter calculation, I have a let statement, right? I have a let statement with the script parameter, and it's targeting the account auto entry calculation test, right? So this is very, very powerful. Another way you can use this, and I'm using that all the time, is that save time you can even imagine how. Very simple. So let's say here I have the current layout. So I have the layout name. So here I have a layout name. This is populating automatically. So when I go to test, right? And I go back, he knows from where I was going to test, right? So it's very so here I have another one. Wherever I go, the layout name is populated automatically, and I want to show you how I populate the name of the. I have here objects. They are buttons, but they do nothing. You know, they're just empty buttons like that. But as you can see, I have a hidden state. I have a hidden state here on each of them. Okay, so what the hidden state is doing? For example, the layout name is just populating. The variable of the get layout name. So let's play with this a little bit. I take this, I copy this, and so normally I'm putting those things on the right here. Then they don't show up on the layout. So let's say I'm going to here where I don't have it, right? And then I'm populating this. Layout name is multi-value. How I get that? You know, I don't have any trigger, anything. So I can do that here. So if I go to this one and I paste it and I refresh, bam, filter bad, that's the name of the field of the layout, right? So it's very simple. If I take this, go back test, for example, I go this and I go here and I paste it, right? I paste it and I go back, it go back here. If I copy this and I paste on this one, right? I go back and I come back here automatically because I don't have to take care of the current layout name. It takes the current layout, it go to the another layout, and the back button say go back to whatever layout is in this global variable, and then you go back. So you have a go back button for free. You don't even have to think about it. There's no crazy triggers and get layout name and set variable and stuff. You don't have this. Yeah.
So we have a question here. They're pretty much asking, in the get layout name calculation, what's the false for after the semicolon?
Oh, okay. Very simple. Yeah, I can show you that. Let's say you're a developer. I'm doing that all the time. And actually, I'm going to show you a real application. I have what I call a sticky note, and I make it look like a real sticky note. So I have a sticky note pretty much style, okay? And I said, okay, customer wants to do this and that. Pretty much, right? You want to do this and this and that. So you put sticky note in your whatever layout, and you say, okay, here. You put on top of this. But you don't want that to be seen by people. So what you do if you want to permanently hide something, you tap true. And if you go there, it's not there. Layout mode, you see it. Browse mode, you don't. So you have your own sticky notes, right? So that's very powerful because sometimes you take note on the side, but you can reconcile with the context. When you open the layout, you see pam, all your sticky notes and stuff like that. So that's cool. So you use true or you use one. False mean show it. So since I want that to be I don't want that to be hidden. If I could have said nothing here, but I just want to make false, to make show it, don't hide it, But you cannot put nothing like nothing, otherwise you have a syntax error here. Yeah. So what you need to put something that means this, or true if you want to hide it, false if you don't want to hide it, or 1 or 0. It's up to you guys. No incidents whatsoever. I like the false because it's talking is talking to me. I want to show you guys, I want to show you the poll, and I want to talk about relationship right quick. We all know the relationship, right? Relationship, very simple. You say, a link, an ID with an ID, or a name with a name, and state with the, okay. So we all know that, right? But let's say now I want to explore. So if here I have the parent key, and these are the related records that I want with this relationship. Let's say I said Arizona. Bam. So I put Arizona here, and I have some people with Arizona. But let's say now I tap Claris Return, and I say Nevada. Bam. I have the Arizona people and the Nevada people. So let's say now I put Alaska. Oops. I have the Alaska people, Arizona people, and the Nevada people, etc., etc., etc. If I remove Nevada, bam, they're gone. If I put something that doesn't exist, doesn't care. Right? So this is what we call multi-value relationship. That you have one field, can be a local field or a global field, and then you can add multiple values, and then the relationship automatically will suck in all the records found with those values as a value. What we call value in FileMaker is a string separated with Claris Return. This is a value, okay? But there's a problem with this. The big problem is this. When it's empty, there's no relationship, right? This is the FileMaker default. Yes, but when it comes to filter, let's say I have a filter here. Okay, it's empty, but why a filter should be like, why show me nothing by default, and I have to click something and then add to show something, and actually it's like what I just demonstrate. Using this is doing exactly like what I demonstrate. You can, if you did this, you remove the Idaho people. If I want to see all, I need to click all of them, right? So it's not very practical, let's say, right? So I don't want this to happen. I want this to happen. This is empty, and I have all. That's what I want to happen, right? So I do that. It's empty. My relationship here is empty. And if I select something, I start panning, I start filtering. But if it's empty,
Eat them all.
right? So now, this is what I want, and it come even better when you have one filter like that and say, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this, and if you clear the result, if you clear the filter, you want all. That is the natural behavior, right? You don't want, like it is now here, nothing, because it's not what we want. So, how it works? So it's a combination of what we already saw together. So we have here, I have a global here. As you can see here, I have a global. So here you can see I have two fields. I have the filter. Let me show you. I have the filter. This is a filter. And then I have the filter update. I call that filter contact update. This is a filter where I'm filter entry. And this is a filter global, the global that filter contact updates. So what is this, right? I have a relationship between account and contact that is named contact. So this relationship here, and I want whatever records related to the current account, but I want the filter to be the filter contact updates is the key, not the contact filter entry. So stick with me now. On the contact update, I have an auto entry calculation. That's why I needed to explain the auto entry calculation, saying that if it's empty, if the update is empty, put 1. If it's not, put whatever is there. Okay? So pretty much what is doing exactly what I just demonstrated before. I put something, or if it's empty, put 1. So here I have a tiny little script that do the following thing. When I click here, I have a little.
Our heads are all blown over here. That was really good.
Okay, so be ready, buckle up.
Buckle up.
On object save, I set a field, and I set the field with the current content. So that means I transfer whatever is there, I transfer it over there. Okay. And why I'm doing this? First of all, because then I have my auto entry calculation that says if it's empty, put 1. If it's something, put something. Empty, something. Empty, something. Okay. So, and something you need to know is that when you set the field, when you trigger a set field, you are validating the field, the target field. The target field is validated without to commit the freaking record. Here I am in the one record. Let's say I change this, okay? And I use my filter, right? I set a field and I updated that. Update the thing. That means I still can revert the record because I didn't commit the record. The set field is going to update the target field as you were committing the current records. The set field is updating, is validating the data. That means when you have a relationship, you don't have to commit to refresh the relationship. You just set a set field and then it refresh whatever is attached to this. And so I'm going to make many demo about this, but this is very cool. So I have my filter here. So you will say, Nick, okay, that's great. So are you telling us that just putting 1 in a relationship that will make the relationship showing all the records? The answer is no. On the other table, which is the contact table, you need a filter ID, a link filter, I call that. And what it is this. I have 2 values. I have 1 and whatever state. Let me show you. I have a new record. New record by default, I have 1 in this, right? And if I put a state, now I have 1 and whatever state is there. I can change. I change. I have 1 and whatever state is there. So how I'm doing this? The filter has an auto entry calculation that do this. I'm doing a list. I'm going to explain list later. I'm using a list, and the list is put 1 and whatever in the state, so that I get 2 values. So now you understand how it works. When here in the parent key I put 1, then it will find all records, because all records has at least 1 value in the filter ID. You have at least 1 value that is 1. So if I put 1, I will find everything. If I put a state, if I put this, bam. It's easy because I didn't put 1. So if I put 1, I have all of them. Why? Because as I show in the contact table, I have a multi-value relationship with 1 and Nevada. So all the records, they all have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. They all have 1. So if I put 1 over there, the relationship will find everything. And if I put Nebraska, okay, it will find all the Nebraska one, right? So this is very powerful because you need that in order to create filters that are powerful, right? So when you have this, it's cool because you have this. See, it show all the record here. When it is empty, down, you clear, it show all the records. This is cool. So I want to show you a real world application of this, because you say, okay, all this is theoretical, but I want to show you that this is not theoretical. I want to show you something here. First of all, I want to show you that we are dealing with some records. That means it's not a small amount of records. We have 3.6 million records in this table, right? I can't correct. Yeah. And here in this table, we have 80,000 records. Here I have a filter, but I made the filter a little bit more tougher because I have two filters, not only one. I have two filters, right? And it's what you're seeing here, it's a rate, and you have a rate for itineraries from this city to this city, this city from this city, this city from this city. Okay? So you can see here you have all the itineraries from this city to this city, from this city to this city, etc., etc. So for each itinerary, they have, for a kind of rates, that mean a skid, that mean a pound, that mean, by pound, by box, by skid, by whatever, they have a different rates, right? So, and they wanted a filter for that, but they wanted a filter to say, okay, show me all the delta from delta, and you can see I don't care about the destination. He show me all the destination. I mean, origin is delta, so okay, they're all delta, but because I didn't put anything in destination, so here where my one kicks in, my one system, because it's empty. So one is not, and the other one is empty. So let's put something. I think I want to go Ottawa. Okay, I have one on it. But let's say I want to make the thing a little bit tougher. Okay, I want to make the little bit tougher. You can see here you have different you have different rates. You have the return or the one way. That's one way, or you want the truck going back. So I want the filter to show me whatever one way, whatever return, whatever both. I want both. So I have three filters, and I am dealing with 80,000 records. And we are in a server which is not a Thunderbolt server. Richard, what server do we have here?
This is the one that we set up
Yeah.
here. This is a very slow Mac Mini from 2010. It's 9 years old.
Okay.
And it's still fast.
Okay. Yeah. Here it's instant. I don't.
So your lean design is so lean that you're not taxing even the server. And I've got old, as I say in the business, an old ass server. Very old.
Yeah. So you see, it's extremely powerful. Okay. So this portal is related to 80,000 records, and this one is the one dealing with the 3 million table. Okay. So you can see I don't have any problem navigating from, getting out of 3.6 million, getting the records I need. You don't have a query, you don't have a progress bar, you don't have a spinning wheel, and it's snappy, like it's instant, right? So here is interesting because you have kind of the price list. Price list is for this destination, right, which is local because it's from the same city. When it's not, that is regional, and this is local. So you have a lot of logic here automatically happening. So, and we have 80,000 records, and it's fast as hell. So here what I want to do is that I have a filter here. Okay, I want the range filter. So here you have the price between £1 and £30. This is one price. Okay, let's say $2. From 31 to 60, it is $1.8. Then from 61 to 90 is $1.7. So more you have, less expensive it is, right? So you have from £61 and £90, from £91 and 120, etc., etc. You have a different kind of price. So I want the price range. I say, okay, give me the price for £34. Okay. So this is the price for 44, because 34 is between 31 and 60, right? So give me the, I want for 44, I want for 87, I want for 121, and I want for 234.9 or 234. Bam. Those are the rates I need. I have a range. I say, okay, give me for 34, 87, 121, and 234. And he found it. So 34, yes, we got it, you know, we write. 87 is between 61 and 90. 121, yeah, it's 121. And the 234, yeah, it is here between, okay. I'm doing that via a relationship with 3.6 million records on the other side, right? Nobody can come to me and say, okay, unavoidable unstore calculation or whatever, right? Because you can get things very fast, right? So let me finish this. So this is a real world application of what I'm talking about, right? The one relationship and stuff like that, right? But what I want to show you is a little bit, I want a sneak peek of what I'm using here for that. Okay. So, and for that we need to go to the table here. For each lane here, you can see they're all 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, okay? But I want to make the thing a little bit more complex here because I want to be able to type DE. I want DE and I want OT. I want that to work too. I want partial part of the name wherever I'm typing, because I type DE, but I could say LTA for Delta, right? Yeah, it works too. DE, you have all the DE, where like DE here, DE here, DE here, right? So, but that is via a relationship. So ask yourself how you do that. So I don't want fines. I don't want filters, because normally you need to use a filter. You need to use this technique here. You need to use a filter technique, which is I don't use here. Because if you use the technique of the filter here, goodbye, good time, rock and roll. It's gone. It's over. You can you can go home and cry because it won't work. With 80,000 records, something that crazy, it's impossible. With pattern counts,
Yeah.
So how I do that? I'm going to show you a sneak peek. That's why I wanted to run through the custom function at the beginning.
Yep.
Okay, it's because now I need to explain a custom function. So the custom function I created for that, I call that index. So what index do? Let's say I have my name. This is my name, if I can spell it correctly. This is what index do.
Holy shit.
So it's dismantling is actually, look, that's what Clay explained me how, this is how this works. This.
Right.
This is exactly what index do. So Clay gave me the keys. Say, okay, this is what the index do. Okay, so I build my own index.
So it runs fast.
Yes, because it's a tail recursive function.
It's a terroristic function.
It's a tail recursive. All the combination possible are available. All the combination. 1 letter, 2 letter, 3 letter, whatever. Okay. So hold on. You cannot use this technique for everything. You cannot come with 120 lines of text and ask me to index it, because that will kill your performance. So this needs to be reasonable. Where you use that? A first name, a last name, a city, a state. Something small. You cannot have a big chunk of text and then you want me to index it. Why? Because that will take freaking amount of time to do it, and you crash FileMaker anyway. You crash it. You're doing this. So
Yeah, the recursive function has a limit, like 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000, something like that.
Well, sometimes it's 50, but it depends how you set.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this technique for this application of the filter, because filter, you don't filter a big filter is a city, it's a state, it's a status, right? That's what I'm doing, and that's how I can do the thing. But I created a bunch of, I have this is very cool too, the time frame from the start date to end date and stuff like that. So I have plenty of good things here. You have all my custom function on the launchpad is here.
Where it'll be is you'll go to if you go to FM Starting Point, which is a CRM website, at the top there's what we call the marketplace, and then there's a link there where it talks about this 5-day course. So that's it for today. I appreciate everyone. Once again, if you're a FileMaker developer, you're looking for assistance, the shameless plug is definitely check out our team. We have really good engineers that can help you with this stuff. If you're looking for training and say you're your own developer and you don't need any help, but yeah, go buy the training. $79, show your support, buy the training. If you don't have it, it's at fmtraining.tv, and that's the 18 video course. And so if you have questions, email, shoot it to support@rcconsulting.com. Once again, thanks to Charles Massey, production engineer, who's kept us straight today. Once again, thanks to Nick, obviously, everyone. And then for now, Richard Carlton and the RCC team, we're signing off.
Guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.